Welcome to Take a Look, and we'll do just that. First up, it's not a monkey, it's not a man, it's Monkey Man. Or at least it's Dev Patel in a monkey mask opening up a can of it. We'll go behind the scenes of this Jordan Peele-produced gritty action thriller that's more fun than a barrel full of... All right, moving on. The First Omen. It's very scary. Game of Thrones favorite Nell Tiger-Free talks about her starring role. And while The First Omen is scary, it's not the scariest thing we're talking about. Take a look at this. Naked Attraction. A full frontal, full naked dating show that, like it says, begins where most good dates end. And be warned, some things you'll be begging to unsee. Regardless, you're gonna see that and more today as we take a look. And welcome to Take a Look. As you saw, we got a lot going on this show. We talk about movies, we talk about streaming series, some of which involve nudity. Evidently, we'll get going with that today. Really excited you're here. And if you're watching on broadcast, thank you so much. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you very much. Also, check us out on Instagram. It's Take a Look, where we do all of that stuff. And it's not just me yapping. I bring in a co-host each time. Today,
Hello.
It's Kelly Savannah Deaton.
Hey, guys.
Where do we find you on social?
Kelly Savannah Deaton.
All right, what are you most excited to talk about today? Let's jump right into it.
I think The First Omen. You know me in horror movies. We go way back.
Me too. And let me tell you how far back I go with this. The original Omen gave me nightmares to this day. I don't even have to see another horror movie. I have nightmares about that.
The original one came out in 1976.
I know where you're going. Yes,
You're
I'm
that
old.
old?
I get it,
I
I'm old.
forget. He looks so nice. I
Oh,
always
come on.
forget.
I got Botox older than you going through my veins. I will tell you this. The First Omen, I was a little kid. I probably should not have been seeing it.
No.
And again, it says so much about me. But let's talk about this. The First Omen is a prequel. It's about a woman who wants to be a nun. And I may be using the wrong vernacular, but yeah, she wants to jump in. But they send her to Rome to study first before she can actually commit.
Yes, and what makes a good horror movie is if it has that sense of dread. And this movie, the entire time, has a sense of dread. The imagery is fantastic. It is so creepy, you will be covering your eyes the entire time.
No kidding. I had a chance to sit down with the star of this movie and the director, and I love that this movie is so female forward. That's the best thing about it. And Arkasha does an amazing job. And Nell Free Tiger with the best name ever. We cut up. Take a look.
I saw this movie and I don't think I'll sleep well for the rest of my life.
Yes.
Sorry, that's a weird thing to applaud, isn't it? Thank you.
But
and we're
congratulations,
sorry.
you did it. I know that's somewhat of what you set out to do, but also tell a remarkable story, which you've done well. For each of you, talk about 10, 20 movies, 30 years from now. What's going to be the day you remember most about this movie on the day?
I know my answer.
You go first, it might be the same.
Yeah, it's Nell did this incredible performance that
It's the same.
scared the absolute bejesus out of everybody on set and just had women grunting off camera. And that was right before her water breaks in the film.
For me, it was exactly that moment. I think not only just like in my professional life, but I think just in my life, that might be one of the most like memorable day. Like that's a day that I will just hold with me in my heart, very, very close to it forever, I think.
Obviously, we know behind the scenes, like, there are take after take. I don't know how many takes you did, but like, it really is one of the most relentlessly 2 takes. Two?
Two. Yeah.
And we could have used the first one. It was great. But Nell was like, let me try it. Let me go one more.
And as an audience member, we're exhausted having seen it. Were you just exhausted for days after laying that down? Or were you like, all right, moving on?
Yeah, physically I was exhausted. Like my body was very tired afterwards, but like emotionally I was really, really energized. And it feels like something like when I watch now and when I think of the experience, I don't know if I could ever emulate again because it felt like such a specific, felt like 3 points of a triangle coming together to like make this crazy, weird, fantastic moment. It was just so therapeutic, and I would implore everybody to try it. I really, really would.
In public.
In public. On the bus.
I want people to see this movie. So each of you finish this sentence. See this movie because...
We told you to. No,
Exactly.
Sorry, you do it.
You want to pile on anything else?
Yours will be better.
It's a juicy feral ride, and I really
love that.
Those accurate, yeah.
Perfect. It's
have
an experience.
fun.
It really is.
Yes.
It's a cinematic experience, and we hope that you are exhausted by the end of it, in solidarity with me, as I was.
You know, we came full circle because that's exactly what I said going into it. I am exhausted from this, and in fact, that's the way it left you. Way to go, female first on this
Yes.
movie, and I can't imagine anybody else bringing this to life.
Absolutely not. And 10 years ago, most likely it would have been a man directing this. So it's pretty
true.
phenomenal that she saw a vision, she co-wrote it, and killed it. And we have this exhausting horror movie that's going to have you shielding your eyes the entire time.
It's true, among the best of the genre, and I think we didn't plot spoil. There's a birthing scene in this movie. If you saw A Quiet Place and thought that birthing scene was tough to watch, wait till you see what goes on in this.
Chills.
All right, let's cleanse, shake it off. Moving right along, a movie that's equally intense for other reasons and also culturally something that changes the game. Dev Patel is behind the scenes of Monkey Man and in front of the camera as well. You'll catch up with us. Next, we'll take a look. Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to Take a Look. Hope you are awesome. You're about to be awesomer because the movie I've been waiting to tell you about, we're about to tell you about. I'm Marcus Allen. It's my friend Kelly Savannah Deaton.
guys.
She likes talking about movies pretty much the way you like talking about movies. So want to jump into it?
Yep, let's do it.
Ooh, let's bring in some backup. Let's phone a friend, as they say. One of my dear friends, he's on the board of directors for the Broadcast Film Critics Association, the most respected organization talking about movies in the world, and he joins us right now. Sean Edwards, how you doing, sir?
Hi, Sean.
What's up, Mark? What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing?
Hey, man, doing much better. And by the way, I might have said I'm also one of the founding members of that organization. Congratulations, sir, for taking it to new highs.
No, it's all because of you, man. But thanks for having me on the show. I love it. Love it.
Well, I knew that you were going to lean into this movie the way I leaned into it. This movie is not only cinematically a game changer, but also culturally. Want to lay onto that?
Oh, yeah. I'm glad Dev Patel got the opportunity to tell this story. I mean, he was like an everything man on this project. I mean, he co-wrote the project, he directed the project, he stars in the project. But thankfully, a guy by the name of Jordan Peele, he saw the vision. And that's why we get to see this movie, man. He helped to bankroll the movie and helped to provide some distribution so that this movie could live for millions and millions of people to see. Dev Patel bringing a little bit of his culture, bringing a little bit about what his people do to the big screen. And he did it with such vivid and authentic detail. Such an amazing movie. And we haven't even got to the incredible stunts and the overall plot of the movie, which are both amazing.
Absolutely. I want to jump into that. You mentioned Jordan Peele and Dev Patel, like his bet paid off because Dev brought it both in front of and behind the camera, and he paid tribute to Jordan in our interview. Take a look.
Dev, good to talk to you again. How are you
Hey.
and where are you?
I'm great. I'm in LA right now, and I'm going great. Thank you.
Yeah, you should be doing great. You just made an awesome movie. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You know, people don't realize how difficult it is. It's hard to make a mediocre movie, let alone make a great movie.
It's bloody hard to make a movie, and having done it now, I have so much respect for everyone that's tried, failed, conquered, triumphed, all of it. It's a huge undertaking, and it's all-consuming, and it's very humbling. So yeah, thank you, man.
And if you're looking to build confidence, having Jordan Peele as a producer, that's got to help.
Yeah. Jordan was great. At one moment I'd made my peace with the fact that this movie may never see the light of day, and then kind of Jordan swooped in, and kind of, introduced us to Universal and kind of lifted us up again, and it was a really incredible moment. Yeah.
If you could talk about what you did differently to approach this type of movie, I mean, you brought the action, gave your signature, but also made it more culturally relevant.
I'm a consumer of action films. I'm a humble fan of the genre, and when I thought of this idea, over 10 years ago, it was out of desperation to want to see a character like this, to want to have, other perspectives, more cultures represented in this. I think the action genre can be abused by the system at times to churn out stuff that's substandard, just, a kind of tornado of senseless punches and kicks. And I wanted to give it a real catalyst, real trauma, real pain, and context. And hopefully we've done that, you know, with some entertaining, you know, cool, you know, whoa,
Right.
action moments. Yeah. This character, he fights from a place of, you know, desperation. So I wanted it to feel primal and carnal and like teeth and sweat and spit and you know, he's like a cornered, caged animal. And we fought against the nature of choreo and this kind of like, you know, kind of more composed style. We wanted it to feel like life or death, you know, playing out beside you.
Well, dude, I wish I was there with you in person just to say
Yeah.
congratulations, man. Awesome.
you, brother.
Nice work.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Love that guy. Anytime you talk to an English person and they say the word bloody, you know you struck a good nerve.
job,
So I
Mark.
love
Good
that I got
job.
that out of the way. He was born in Kenya, raised in the UK from Indian parents. So you have a lot of cultures wrapped around, and I love what he does with this.
I love it so much. And Sean, what do you hope people take from this movie? Why should they go see this?
Well, number one, they should go see it because it's one of the best action movies I've seen in a long time. Who knew that Dev Patel had so much John Woo in him? And if you don't know who John Woo is, please Google. One of the all-time best filmmakers of action ever. But no, it's just a great movie. And the fact that he puts so much of his Indian culture and aesthetics into the movie that just gives it that sort of like crackle that like just really makes it real. And let's not forget about all the cool needle drops because the music in this movie is just as amazing as the action. The way he paired certain songs with some of the fight scenes and sequences, really job well done.
And let's like dive right into the fights. Like, I love a good fight. Our grandparents said, Rocky, you're never going to see fighting as good as that. I made an MMA film, and I will even tell you, this is the best knuckles bare MMA fight sequencing I've ever seen. How about you?
No, he was able to really do some new things. I mean, he even mentioned it in your interview. Like he's watched a lot of action films and, you know, some of the tropes and some of the things you've begun to see have gotten repetitive. And he took that to heart because he didn't do anything repetitive. You know, all of the fight scenes, all of the sequence, and it's new stuff. It's original. It's there are things in this movie that happen that you have not seen before, and that's really hard to do.
Awesome, Sean. Thanks for representing my friend in the last 25 years. Where do we find you online?
Hey man, just go to just Google the name SHAWN Edwards because I'm everywhere, but I represent Fox 4 News in Kansas City, Missouri.
I appreciate you. Thanks for
Awesome,
making the world
Sean.
play a better place, Sean. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Sean.
There you go, Sean Edwards, ladies and gentlemen, Sean Edwards. All right, don't move. When we come back, you're going to take a look, but definitely cover the kids' eyes at a series that promises it begins where most good dates end, absolutely naked. And I don't mean filtered. I don't mean there are fig leaves covering anything. You see it all. But do you wanna? We'll talk about that and why. You're gonna need a palate cleanser after that, so we'll go over to the Disney Channel. Taylor Swift has been crushing it since the Eras Tour launched. Not any longer. What toppled her? We'll find out next. Yeah, don't worry, Rock. We'll be getting you in just a minute. Trust me, we'll be talking about it. Oh, hey, welcome back to Take a Look. It's a show where I talk to old pictures of me with Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. Forget about that for a moment. Forget what you've seen because it's plot spoiling because right now I want to talk about what's crushing it on the Disney Channel. And what's been crushing it, Taylor Swift. The Eras Tour, since the moment it launched, has been breaking Disney numbers, one of the highest rated shows ever in the history of the Disney Channel. Until, follow me if you will, this week, Moana, out of nowhere, with the voice, of course, of the aforementioned Dwayne Johnson, takes the #1 spot. Kelly Savannah Deaton, how are you feeling about this overthrow over at the Disney Channel?
I'm not surprised. Moana, the most incredible animated movie, in my opinion, that's come out in like the last 10 years.
I'm completely shocked because I thought you were a Swiftie. In fact, I know that you were at the Eras Tour when they recorded that championship concert.
I was in LA in August, and the cameras were everywhere. We kind of had pretty high up seats, but they made sure you could see everything. I've never been to a concert where you can hear the people around singing more than Taylor Swift, more than the artist. That's how big her fandom is.
Well, if you haven't seen it on the Disney Channel, it's still there. However, let's talk exclusively about Moana right now. Out of nowhere, a movie that's almost a decade old, crushing it, #1 spot. Any idea why?
Because, like I said, it's an amazing animated film. It's girl power. It's right on trend with that. And you have The Rock, Dwayne Johnson.
True. We'll definitely get to the girl power in a moment. In the meantime, I did have a chance to go behind the scenes with Mr. Rock to talk about it. Look.
Hydrate, get ready for the long haul.
Hydrate, that's alcohol.
Oh, good to know. You know, this really isn't an interview, it's an intervention. You've got to recognize there's an issue.
There is an issue, and I'm ready to solve it.
Hey, man, congratulations on this movie.
Thank you.
Also,
if
I have
only I were in it.
Well, you are in it. Are you kidding me? Like, you are not already a demigod for Pacific Islanders and the world. Now you have to play a demigod for Pacific Islanders and the world.
It's ego-driven.
Really?
It's all ego.
You demanded it?
I demanded it. I had the best time. I had the best time with this, and you know, you realize that they're the greatest storytellers, right? The greatest storytellers on earth, because ultimately the characters will get knocked down, they get back up, but there's just the element of hope, and there's faith, and not only is it relevant today, right, but I think it just speaks volumes and empowers everyone too as well. So look, I had a great time.
And the funny thing about it, it's the story of this little girl that ultimately ends up following a change in her life and ends up, you know, ruling. And essentially, it's probably targeted towards young girls. Yet this old guy me, I found message in it. That's inspiration.
Buddy, everybody can take away from this, because you know it's the fundamental quality of making sure that we always listen to the little voice inside of us, right? So whether we're 15, 16 years old, whether we're at the 4th level, 5th level, 30s, whatever we're at, like we always have that voice. And it never goes away, by the way. Like there's always, it's the gut, it's the instinct, and it's the voice that always speaks to you, and you gotta listen to it. And oftentimes when we don't listen to it, that's the biggest lesson, when the universe will come and like, will hit you right on the head. You know what I mean?
And it does.
Yeah.
Hey, you have a big thank you to this guy and Lin Miranda, because finally, Frozen will no longer be, Let It Go will no longer be the most listened to Disney song in your household. And to that you say, or you should sing,
you're welcome.
You're not gonna sing it?
You're welcome.
That's awesome.
Yes, you're welcome.
Lin said that you demanded that he put a song in there with you, for you.
I grabbed him by the neck.
Yeah.
No,
Which is always a good start with composers.
It's a good start, yes. Listen, let me tell you something. The fact that he did his research, understood my vocal range, where I was comfortable, where he could challenge me a little bit, because the song, as you know, goes from singing then into a rap, and then back to singing too, really was an honor. He's a genius. He's a master at what he does. So I loved working with him. Love him. I love the guy.
I love that guy. Dwayne Johnson is so awesome in this. I can't imagine anybody else playing Maui in this movie, much like back in the day when the Disney animators kind of let Robin Williams go and they made the genie pretty much Robin Williams incarnate. That's exactly what takes off in this movie with Maui. I think Dwayne was awesome. But back to you. It's all about the lady power, truly.
100%. And I spoke to Ali'i Cravalho, which this was her first film, by the way. And I didn't expect in my interview that she would give me a 3-minute TED Talk, but she went on about dreamers and perseverance and how important it is to follow your dream. And it was incredible. Take a look.
What do you hope audiences take away from Moana?
So much. I hope audiences are inspired to go on their own journeys to figure out who they are. I hope audiences listen to that quiet voice inside of them and pursue their dreams and pursue their passions. I hope that viewers and audiences realize how important the ocean is and how important it is to respect it. And I hope that people become their own heroes and heroines of their own story, that they don't need a love interest to go on those journeys. Absolutely. It's so important. Like, your journey is yours. You don't need anybody else.
Aw, such a nice TED Talk, like you said, but at the same time, she did go on to be the star of Mean Girls. She's Janice.
How does that happen? Because she's so poised and elegant, and then she's in Mean Girls being mean as can be. How does that happen? That's range, Mark.
That's range. Either way, we're talking about it all these years later, because as of this week, it bumped to the #1 most viewed on Disney Channel. Check it out. She now the moral compass, I'm told, in Mean Girls, technically. And I guess she's that as well in Moana. All right, coming up next, something entirely different. If the kids came in when they heard Disney Channel, shoo them out of the room now. A TV series like you've never seen before. Once you see it, like me, you're going to need counseling. We'll be talking about Naked Attraction next as we take a look.
Hey, welcome back. It is Take a Look. We'll hope you'll take a look at the series of movies that we've talked about in the show. I'm Marcus Allen. It's my friend Kelly Savannah Deaton, who likes to talk about movies and series. And Kelly wanted me to lay down a disclaimer, as did the producers. What we're about to talk about, the staff and management, affiliates, and assigns of Take a Look accept no responsibility for what you're about to see.
Your eyes will burn. Your eyes will burn.
All right, there is a new series. It's a dating game. Everybody's talking about it. Sure, they're not admitting to it, but they are watching it. And it's called Naked Attraction. And you can currently see it on Max.
This is scarier than The First Omen. I just have to say that. It is scarier than the worst horror
It is the scariest thing
movie.
we talked about today. It's a dating show that the contestants are fully naked. And they don't like ease you into it.
No.
This tube raises up and you see the contestants, the bottom half of them first.
They are stark naked, by the way.
And Kelly,
stark naked.
I've been around a minute. I thought I had seen it all. I am telling you, I haven't seen it all.
Now you've seen it all.
Right.
After watching the show, you've seen it all.
My mom brought me
Your
up.
mom? Whoa! Why
sorry.
are we talking about your mother?
Listen, hear me out. My mom said people come in all shapes and sizes and we're all beautiful in our own way. And I do agree with that. However, some of the things you're going to see on here don't exactly look like they're from Earth.
No. I'm not joking. When you watch this, it is entertaining.
Right.
It's educational, but your eyes will burn. You will be watching it like this the whole time.
I'm just saying, if you thought the sandworm in Dune was scary, you just wait. All right, moving along.
Oh, no.
Coming up next week, no nudity that I can see coming, but we are talking about a show that's incredibly disturbing. It's a new movie called Civil War. I will not plot spoil here, but I might next week. So if you want to find out everything you need to know about it, we'll be talking about that next. Kelly, where do we find you on socials?
At Kelly Savannah Deaton.
All right, next week, take a look.